Story we're following this morning, a federal judge in Massachusetts on Friday blocked the government from deporting a Tufts University graduate student who was arrested last week by immigration officers and had her visa revoked. Rumeysa Ozturk's deportation has been blocked while a U.S. district judge determines whether she has jurisdiction over the case. According to the order, Ozturk, a 30-year-old Turkish national with a valid F1 student visa as a doctoral student at the school, was on her way to meet friends for a meal to break her Ramadan fast when she was detained last Tuesday evening, according to her attorney. Video of her arrest shows the moment masked Department of Homeland Security agents apprehended her near her home in the Boston suburb of Somerville. She was quickly moved to an ICE detention center in Louisiana before her attorney could secure a judge's order blocking the transfer. Her attorney also said that her client was being unlawfully targeted because she co-authored a March 2024 op-ed article about Palestine. The essay in the Tufts student newspaper criticized the university's response to demands that it acknowledge the Palestinian genocide and divest from companies with direct or indirect ties to Israel. DHS alleges Ozturk engaged in activities in support of Hamas, but has not provided additional details.
You know, Elise, showing the video without her reaction, the audio tells only a bit of the story because she didn't know who these people were. They just, people came up, surrounded her, no identification, no uniforms, masked. And so they were taking her away when she, again, thought she had a valid student visa.
I mean, can you imagine just being picked up off your campus, swept away, not being given good answers, and then flown down to Louisiana just because supposedly the courts are more favorable down there?
She's still there now.
It's insanity just for something she wrote. If we are going to start revoking visas based on things that people wrote, that is a very slippery slope.
What do small government conservatives say? What do libertarians say about, again, and I say this is somebody who supports a strong southern border, somebody who supports the deportation of bad people, of criminals, people that have broken our laws. And I think most Americans, I'm more conservative on this issue than most Americans. That does not mean that we have to sacrifice basic American values at the same time.
So we thought, and not police speech. That's what I just can't overall. If this is going to be the precedent that they're starting, that they're going through campus newspapers to try to get a student on any kind of language that they do not like because of policy preference, that is complete BS.
And we thought of you because of who she brought up in her essay. I want to read a portion of the essay that Ozturk co-wrote. The great author and civil rights champion James Baldwin once wrote, "The paradox of education is precisely this, that as one begins to become conscious, one begins to examine the society in which they are being educated." As an educator, Tufts University President Sunil Kumar should embrace efforts by students to evaluate diverse and sometimes contradictory ideas and opinions.
And this is her op-ed that she wrote a year ago.
Furthermore,
it's one of the reasons she got taken off the streets.
The president should trust in the Senate's rigorous and democratic process and the resolutions that it has achieved.
So, Eddie, she talked about divesting in Israel, which, of course, liberals on college campuses have talked about for 40 years, 50 years. Sometimes colleges do it, sometimes they don't. But nothing radical at all here. In fact, she's just saying, let's have an open debate and please consider what the Student Senate has done.
Right. That speech that James Baldwin delivered in October of 1963 is so important. And what he's doing there, he's showing that, society's education plays a role in socializing its citizens into its values, right? That we come to understand ourselves as Americans or whomever or wherever we happen to be in a certain way. We understand those values that animate our relationships with each other. But once we are educated in a certain sort of way, particularly here, we come to embrace critical tools in order to bring critique to bear on our society when we fall short of the ideals that define who we are. So she's invoking this moment because education actually urges us to have a critical sensibility.
Yeah.
Now, what does it mean, Joe, when every critique of Israel gets rendered as support of Hamas?
Right. And that's not just here. We've seen this in other instances where people have been critical of Israel. And again, anybody that has watched this show, and my God, exactly. I got the emails and the whatever else is attacking me because I was very critical of a lot of those protests at Columbia, especially when Jewish students felt threatened. And so I say this as somebody that, again, I come from a very clear side. At the same time, you have those debates. And if somebody ever did anything to threaten the safety of a Jewish student, tell the judge, deport them. I'm good with that if they broke laws, if they were here on a student visa,
crimes.
whatever they did, go ahead. Give the court the evidence. I slammed my fist and said, deport them. What I actually mean is give them evidence, give them due process, and then if the judge says, okay, deport them, or okay, this is in your power and purview as President of the United States, because they have very expansive power. The executive branch always does. But we're not even getting there.
We have been spending over 10 years engaging in debate, trying to figure out where we are from very different positions, oftentimes.
Exactly.
And part of what we've been saying and what I've learned is that we can hold different positions at the same moment, right? What is that kind of thinking you guys have been telling me about? These two things at once.
Two things can be true.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Right? But part of the challenge of this moment is this. It's easier for me and you to critique the United States than it is for us to critique the policies of Israel. In this moment, it is easier for me to bring criticism to bear on Donald Trump and what he's doing than the Likud party. And I'm a U.S. citizen right here. So part of what I'm trying to figure out in this moment, if we can't talk about divestment, if we can't talk about nonviolent struggle, if we can't just simply exercise First Amendment rights and bring, what are we doing here? How is this consistent with basic American values? As you were reading it, I just wrote libertarians. Where are you? Where are you? Where are we defined? And so part of the challenge here, and this is something that goes beyond the kind of easy descriptions of are you on the left or are you on the right, just defend basic liberal values.
Jeffersonian democracy,
exactly,
the free marketplace of ideas where you compete. That's what you do in colleges.